that's a really interesting and very unique response. Now let's move forward a little bit here, and I'd like to ask you, once you actually got into Playboy and you were there, did you pick up any techniques? Did you learn anything from the other photographers there at Playboy, or did you kind of figure out how to shoot the Playboy style yourself?
I think I had the Playboy style already, but I refined the technique definitely in Playboy Studio West in Los Angeles. And a lot of these all the senior photographers, they don't really want to teach a newcomer who comes to the studio and trying to steal their techniques. So there's no real sharing, but you cannot not just go there and not learn and see what the lighting does and this and that. You've been put through a course. Editor Marilyn Krobaski, by the way, who was editor there at that time, gave me a lot of film to study and look at everybody's photo shoots and ask questions about it, how it was done. And that was really one of the big things that opened my eyes, how certain things were done. And of course, I mean, your environment drops automatically everything that you're associated with. And I definitely learned there a lot, no doubts.
Awesome. Now, let's talk about who are your biggest photographic influences?
I'm still looking for it.
Okay.
I mean, it's there's so many great photographers on the wall. There's from Helmut Newton, and there is all the classic photographers that are really beautiful, all the way from Irving Elliott, that does a great American photographer that does classic, you look at the landscape, you look at the captures, the momentum, and what really happened in a photograph. There are so many other ones as well that I cannot pinpoint just one. There's different styles of photographers, different styles, and I gotta say, I'm still looking for it, and I keep discovering the new one every single day.
So, Jarmo, I'd like to ask you, where do you find the inspiration to create your images?
Wow, that's an insanity thing, I guess. A lot of people ask me the same question. I study photography a lot. I look at fashion spreads, I look at glamour spreads, I look at the world, I look at what's happening, I look at the history, I look at the future, I combine them, and it just comes in my head and pops, and a lot of people think I'm crazy. Well, I'll tell you what, the crazy guy is still standing here and going forward. It's always something special for me when I come up with an idea, is that I try not to redo what's been done on the past, unless the client really wants it. I'm always trying to create something new or better than was created before. A lot of photographers seem to be creating and living their visual careers through their past and everybody else's careers and creating the same, which is completely fine. But here's an advice for future photographers. It is that try to create always something that's quite never done or better, so that the editors and the clients can look at it and say, wow, this guy's got something. Because editors actually are looking something in a photographer that would be different, that you can elevate their products into a level that's never been seen before. So be unique, stand out, and be individual, that you can say, hey, I did that and nobody else has done it.
Great, that's awesome. Can you tell me why you're here at the WPPI 2015 convention?
I am here as a speaker and doing demonstration for Chimera Lighting, and we have this beautiful new product from Chimera Lighting that's inspired actually by me. It is called Ring Max, and it's like a big ring light, and what it does, imagine having a tilt photography lens. When you tilt in the lens and you can get a little bit more sharper on the one corner than the other one, now you can do the same thing with lighting. Not like a conventional ring lights that it flattens the image. You can actually create shadowing on one side and choose the direction where the light's coming from. We have built something interesting inside this box that gives you 100% control what you can do. And this is one of the main reasons. Also, phase one, the camera deal over here, that has this camera over here and the camera back is another reason. And this is an IQ 250 for a face camera, and I love this unit, and they wanted me to come and demonstrate and shoot some pictures with it. And also one more thing, Sunbounce. Sunbounce is another company that has reflectors for photographers that shoot in the daylight or in the studio situations, and that's another stage that I'm doing demonstrations over here. Let's not forget Hensel. Hensel is a German company that it is not as well known in the US market, but you should check it out because you get a lot of mileage for your buck.
Now, as a photographer, we all have different types of lenses that we focal length lenses that we like to shoot with. Can you give me a little breakdown as far as the type of lenses, your favorite type of lenses that you like to use for different cameras?
No, I actually cannot because each situation requires a different lens. How can you say what's your favorite lens? Let's say I have this scenario, beautiful opening, and I want to do, just like I'm shooting Lovely Mary with this Phase 1 system here with the IQ 250 back, I need a specific lens just to zoom in and to get the perfect cropping on her portrait. Now, if I'm shooting a landscape, I need a 20mm or 24mm, it depends. Each situation requires something different. So, which one is my favorite lens? I'm still looking at my lens collection and go like, I'm picking this and that and this one because they all my favorites.
That's awesome. Now, one of the big questions that all photographers want to know in the day and age of digital photography and instant gratification, like literally instant gratification, you as a photographer that's been around Playboy for many years, we know that the technical aspects of shooting the Playboy style is very intense. Everything must be exact. So my question to you is, do you still use a light meter? Or do you use a light meter?
Absolutely, I do. With that experience, you get to learn sun is about f11 to f13, shadows at 5.6 or f8, depending how where's the location is. But light meter is something that you can never quite guess correctly. And when you have a light meter, instead of relying on just looking on the back of the camera, it automatically tells you a lot more about the light, the fall off. Light meter and a color meter even, they are great tools and I highly recommend because they teach you photography and lighting at the same time. People don't think that, but actually having a light meter gives you an immediate understanding, this specific area here, the f8, I wasn't thinking about it. Why not? It's not going to cost you anything. You want to learn photography, you want to make it to the top, learn lighting because that is the single one thing that's going to take you there. And add some style to it, and you're going to go in on.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I myself, as a photographer, am big on light meters. People always ask me if I use a light meter, and I say every day. I mean, the light meter, you got to have it. So I'm glad you're on my team.
I'm on your team on that one. Trust me. Yeah, it's cool. Unfortunately, not all the photographers think of it the same way. But if you want to really succeed and learn lighting, and learn f-stops, learn all these values, because you're gonna perhaps run into a client one day. I want my beautiful coat to be photographed at f8 because it looks the best on the backlight that way. What are you gonna do? You're gonna just guess and look at the back of the camera where it's gonna be? I don't think so.
Excellent. So real quick, PC or Mac? Are you a PC or Mac guy?
Well, I have both, but I seem to be using my Mac computer quite a bit more.
Okay, excellent.